welcome to the Enterprise World magazine. Today's guest is a trailblazer in the global beauty and personal care space. Someone who, in just 1 year, has built a brand that's already making waves across the industry. He isn't just leading a beauty revolution. He's leading with authenticity, creativity, and a clear purpose. As co-founder and CEO of Mila Beauty, now celebrating its anniversary, he's transforming routines into rituals and formulas into meaningful connections. Please join me in welcoming one of the most influential business leaders making a difference in 2025, Mr. Saahil Nayar. Sahil, thank you for being here and congratulations on Mila Beauty celebrating its anniversary. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so we'll get started with this first segment. So let's rewind a bit, Sahil. What early influences shaped your mindset and entrepreneurial spirit, and would you see the same influences reflected in how Mila has evolved in its first year?
So I think Emily Weiss is somebody I've been watching a lot, and I've been tracking her journey and what she's done for the global beauty space. So I think the early people who I've been influenced by and what she's built and the kind of company, brand, organization, I think I try and continue using whatever I'm able to see and understand from that in my day-to-day. But then as you evolve and as you keep growing your business, you kind of also realize that there are some current challenges, current situations, and every time who you are influenced by or who you think is a probable mentor, and sometimes reality is very different. So I think in principle, I'm still at that vision of building, scaling, and making a true impact on not just a business, but on people, on consumers, and on their minds and lives. So I think that influence continues to stay with me as we are building and scaling Mila.
That's well said right there. So what particularly was the aha moment when you knew that Mila Beauty was going to be your next big creation?
Actually, they were. And I think this is a myth that there is only one aha moment. There are multiple aha moments, and then when you know that there has been so many ahas, and then you realize that I think it's time to build something, make something, create something. So I'll give you a small example. I was at a get together, and I remember, and I had this habit, which I'm saying it on record, but I love going to people's washrooms. I think it's the perfect insight to understand real consumer and what are they using. And I'm so naughty, I would say. I always ask to use other than the guest bathroom, because that's how I'm able to see what are they using. So my actual insight came from there. And I saw on the shelf, and repeatedly over multiple aha moments, like I told you, I was seeing that how global brands were getting replaced with Indian homegrown brands. And I realized that in that space that today people are experimenting. Today people in India are no longer enamored by saying mujhe international brand hi chahiye, right? They want to promote, they want to use things which are made in India. So I think that was one aha moment. When I came out of the washroom, I started asking the girls and the ladies about the products they use, and all of them, while they were talking about they use this foundation and this kajal and this skincare, somehow when it came to their lip shades and they spoke about their base, they suddenly spoke about, nahin yaar, international brands na hamara skin nahi samajhte. So I think it was that, and there were multiple of these things that what an Indian skin is different, and we need to genuinely create something for the Indian women, because that's what they're looking for. So and they understand today that maybe international formulations don't really work the best on Indian skin tone, Indian skin types. So yeah, I think that was that one, those one or two parties and those 3-4 washroom visits made me realize that okay, it's time to put Mila on the shelf.
So I think you've given up your strategy here now.
Imagine there are going to be more people in the bathroom now.
Yeah. And also, right, like you rightly said, nobody understands the Indian skin more than the Indian entrepreneur. So yeah, I
Yes.
think you just hit the right game over there. So my next question to you would be that you've carved a niche in a very highly competitive market in just 12 months, and you've reached to a business which is approximately 60 crores. So what inner qualities or beliefs have helped you drive this kind of 1 year momentum?
It's a very short answer, and that's something which is tattooed on my hand. It says sabr and sugar. So, and I think I live by that principle, and I think that is what has helped in the last 1 year also, is have patience and have a lot of gratitude. So I think those are the two things. Other than obviously the most common answer saying that there is a product market fit. There is a lot of competition, but believe you me, everyone's doing the same thing. Uh, you know, चीज एक ही है, नकाब अलग अलग है. They're just different names. So I think it's really hard what we are doing. And like they say, Rome is not built in a single day. It's something which is extremely hard. And I don't think it's very competitive but it's hard. Why? Because it is competition if I'm going to do the same thing that competition is doing. But if I'm trying to do something other than competition, it's not competitive, but it's hard. So I would say I don't see it as too much competition. It's a cluttered space. It is a space where there are a lot of players, but we are trying to do something different. We're trying to build something different. And like they say, if you want to have a different output, you need to give a different input, and which is what we're trying to do here.
That's fabulous. So, who or what has been your biggest influence in your leadership style, and how has that played out while building Mila's culture in its debut year?
So I think something which is in my leadership style is I think I have a lot of belief on people, and I feel when you're managing things, strategy काम आती है. When you are organizing things, Excel sheets काम आती है. When you are answering things, data काम आता है. But when you are doing what we are trying to do, when you are trying to lead, you need to have a lot of trust. You need to empower your people. You need to believe in them. So I think because there is no simple answer to a question when you are leading, and there is no right answer. So the only thing you can actually rely on is on your people, and that has always been my leadership style. Is that please believe on your people, take care of your people, and they'll take care of you.
So you are a true team leader.
So I believe.
Leader, as I may say. So many people talk about passion, but you've paired it with discipline. So how has your daily routine looked in the first year of Mila, and have you developed any sort of new rituals as a founder? Because of course your journey as a founder and entrepreneur is completely up and down, day in and out. You follow a lot of responsibilities. So how does it all come to you?
See, if I were to give you an honest answer, it's not as balanced as it may seem, So I think that it needs a lot of hustle. It needs a lot of endless sleepless nights, right? There are no weekends, there are no family vacations. So I think why I don't want to give a very polished answer is because anyone who's watching this, should not get an unrealistic view on what it is to be an entrepreneur, or what it means to be a beauty founder, and that also a male founder in the beauty business. It's very hard. It's a lot of challenges, but it's worth every sleepless night and worth every working weekend. And I say that is because once you have done that, right? It's a business, and it's a brand that you're building for the long term. It's not something which can happen like that. So while you have those sleepless nights, and while I've had those no break weeks, two things I've tried to bring back into my routine, because it was a part of my routine. It went and it goes. It's okay if you stop working out. It's okay if you stop doing, if you start eating too much of hot chocolate fudge because you're under stress. It's okay. What is not okay if you continue doing that? You have to understand when to pause and when to restart. So there was a pause, and there's a pause in multiple entrepreneurs' lives and founders' lives. But I brought it back in my routine. I've lost almost 10-15 kilos post that. So I think two things now I don't miss is hydration. There is a lot of hydration I keep, and choti si baat lagti hai, but even right now as I speak with you, there's this big tumbler of water with me. It keeps you sane. It keeps you hydrated. So it's very important. Second is you have to have a release. You have to go and have a release wherein for 1 hour you are logged off. There is absolutely no screen, and I mean absolutely nothing. For me, it has been my gym. For some people, it is a morning walk. For some people, it is spending time with their children. It's different for different people, right? But I think these are two things you need to keep: 1 hour of zero screen time whatsoever, right? The life world can wait, and keeping your hydration 100%. So yeah, two things.
Yeah, I think that's a very realistic answer. And I think you don't need to show us your bottle because your skin is actually stunning. And it is telling us like the amount of water, liters and
That's
liters of
water. That's water.
yeah.
That's
But
water and Mila, both.
yeah, yeah, definitely. You've also given us some really great skincare tips with this answer. So, Mila was founded with a purpose bigger than profit. Okay, so it is more than the monetary gains. So, 1 year in, how has that purpose evolved, and what moments this year redefined it to you?
See, the purpose, I should also define what's the purpose. If not, it's obviously profit. We are not a not-for-profit organization. But what is bigger than that is to make a movement. And it's not easy revolutionizing how India sees beauty and how beauty sees India. It's both ways, right? Today, with the way what's happening in the global economies, what's happening with the tariffs, we all can see everyone's turning to India. And I think that's just an opportunity that probably I saw and I continue to see and believe in. Is you have to build for the country, right? I mean, everyone might criticize Trump, but whatever he's doing or saying, he's just putting his country forward, right? Right, wrong, questionable, but he's just trying to say, America first. I think it's time for all of us in India to do that, rather than turning to China and other countries, rather than saying, let me import this, let me buy this from there, I'm back to my belief. You have belief. There's nothing which India can't manufacture. There's nothing which India can't do. We are one of the fastest growing economies. So we need to have trust in that economy. We have to have trust in that system, and somebody has to start building for it. So I think for me, that's a big goal, and that's a big ambition, is to put an Indian beauty brand on the map. So made in India for the world. Why not?
Yeah, that's really excellent, and definitely, I mean, like, it's the right time and age right now to do it because India is blooming in the market space, in the beauty space. So there's no
Yes.
better time than now. So definitely,
Correct.
building a brand in a year, it means like balancing rapid growth with unexpected challenges. So could you share a moment from this year when you faced a setback, and also how did you sort of bounce back? I
I,
would like
I,
that.
I don't think I should give a name because it will not be right on a public platform. But I think over reliance on any one channel, right, can pose to be a problem. So if you are relying too much on, say, any e-commerce player, any Q-commerce, any distributor, anyone. I'm not particularly naming anybody, but you should not have a over reliance on any one channel, because tomorrow if that channel has any problems, any of their setbacks, it cannot become your setback. And I think which is what is something that happens. And as you say, I keep saying we keep learning, and as experienced, our experiences are a collection of all our mistakes. So when someone says I'm experienced, means he's made all those mistakes in the past. So yeah, so I think this in this year I can say I'm more experienced because there's some more mistakes that have happened. How do you bounce back is to not fight that mistake is there, to realize and identify there has been a problem, and to just press the restart. That's what we all do. Phone nahi kaam karta, we don't run to a mobile shop, we just restart the phone. TV पे net नहीं चलता, हम पीछे से off करके on कर दो. That's what we do. So that's what I did. I mean, there was a setback, we just went back. No Excel sheets, no saying what happened, why it happened. It's happened. just restart. And we did, and today the setback has zero impact on my business, on on anything. It has, we are just more we are more aware now that this challenge may happen again, so we are planning and devising strategies to kind of make sure that that doesn't happen. And I'm sharing this so that anyone else who's ever relying on any one channel too much also knows it is better to diversify.
That's wonderful. And definitely failures are the greatest lessons.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so, yes. So as a leader, how do you navigate tough calls? Especially when you have to balance short-term wins with the long-term vision for Mila's next chapters.
I'll give you a very real answer for this. There is, you can never be prepared for it, right? You can never be prepared. Anybody who's saying they are prepared are basically very negative. Because if I ask you, are you prepared? You know that it's going to rain. You're not, because you saw the clouds in the morning. You say, oh, it doesn't look like a rain. And that's how we operate as a country, right? We don't carry an umbrella every day to work like they do in London, right? So we are, as a country, rely a lot on hope and faith and belief. So honestly, anybody who's prepared for it means he is preempting there's going to be a problem and there's going to be failure. We are very optimistic people. हमें लगता है कोई दिक्कत नहीं आने वाली, right? So having said that, I think there are two things still that I like to do personally. One is a lot of reflection. There are sometimes very short-term decisions that need to be taken which may have a long-term impact, and there are some decisions to be taken for the long term which may not be the best in the short term. So I think whenever these decisions are to be taken, is something I learned from my father. He used to always say, and now I also say, I'll sleep over it. So I like to take the decision back home and defer it until next morning. Because if it's not breaking today, it will not break by the morning, but it'll give you some time to reflect. And believe you me, you wake up with a much clearer head. So whenever there is something like that, I try and not fall under the pressure on reacting, and I like to sleep over it. So that is one. And second, this is something I always tell my team, brace for impact. That's what they do. Before you take off on a flight also, they always teach you how to brace for impact. So I think we should always, don't plan that if shit goes through, what do you do? But you should know that if it goes through, how do you brace for impact? What are you doing, right? So I think that's just two things that I like to personally follow.
That's wise advice right there. So if you would go back and give your one day of Mila self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Run, don't sprint. I think it's a big difference, because when you sprint, you kind of tend to exhaust your energy in one go. But when you know you have to run, the energy and the enthusiasm, the planning is very different. You carry your water, you carry your bag, you make sure you wear your knee pad. जब 100 मीटर ही भागना है, you just sprint. So I think for all entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, first-time entrepreneurs, always plan on running a big, long marathon, because you put a short-term goal. I thought 6 months में ये हो जाएगा, नहीं होता. Then what? Right? Then you say 1 year, nahi hota. Then what? So you have to understand this. It's a long journey. So don't think you're going to just achieve everything overnight.
Yes, well said right there. So let's move on to the second segment, which is a rapid fire one. So we'll shift a little gears, and it's time to have some fun, Sahil. So one word answers quickly, okay? So one word that defines you as a leader.
Compassionate.
Fantastic. A daily non-negotiable in your routine.
Water.
Yes, I guessed it. One beauty myth that annoys you the most.
This Beaute 10-step routine. Don't need it.
Yes. So what fuels your best thinking? Sunrise silence, or is it the late night ideas?
Late night ideas.
Oh, great. So if not beauty, what industry would you be in?
Food.
Oh, I can go for this one. I would say personal development, because you are a great inspirational coach. That's what I feel. Because I'm really hooked with you from the first word. So I would say personal development right there. So one leadership mantra. What's your leadership mantra in one sentence?
Sabr and shukr. Have a lot of patience and a lot of gratitude.
Yes, that's the key. So let's move on. That was a fantastic rapid fire right there. So let's move on to the segment 3. So in one word, like one message or one advice that you'd like to give to young professionals who want to lead from the front but feel unsure of where to start? Like, how do they take their first step starting from the start line?
Short advice, it's progress over perfection. Half the things and half the problem is we build up a very large company in our head, a very large brand in our head. When you build it up that large, then the problems will also be very large in your mind, and then you end up not starting. So my suggestion is to, our young budding entrepreneurs, just start and don't try and aim for perfection, right? Just aim for progress. If today is Monday, if it's a bad day, just make sure Tuesday is better than Monday. Make sure Wednesday is better than Tuesday, and Thursday is better than Wednesday. Just keep moving towards progress. Don't try and say, I'm going to make today perfect. It doesn't happen. It never happens.
Yeah, I think that's wisdom right there. So, we'll have this quick segment 4 right now. So let's, zoom out a little bit and look at 2005 to 2025 and beyond. So what major trends do you believe will transform the way beauty brands connect with consumers now?
So I think there are few things here. One change I have seen ever since Mila has started talking about it. I'm quite happy to say and proud to say I've seen a lot of brands also start having very similar conversations. And my team gets very upset. Arey, unne copy kar liya, unne ye kar liya. And I always say one thing. I say don't react. Imitation is the best form of flattery. If someone's imitating you, means they actually agree with you. I said jitne आपके सोशल मीडिया पोस्ट कॉपी होते हैं, जितने आपके बायोज में things are getting, people are getting inspired, I said that is validation. It's validation that it's working, and people are today actually understanding that. So I think one thing is Indian beauty. That is one thing which a lot of people are talking about, and I'm going to talk about more. I see that as a trend. It's going to be glass skin and wo sab theek hai, but there's going to be a lot around understanding your own skin better. Right? People are moving away from whitening creams. People don't want to say ki I want to look different. They say I want to look beautiful. I want to look me, but better. That's it. So I think one shift is that don't try and change the person. Don't tell them you're going to use this lip liner and foundation or aap alag lagne wale. You have to tell them this is going to enhance, it's going to look better, which is why today you see lip glosses are working probably better than just normal liquid lipsticks, right? Because the person sees that these are my lips, but they just look plumper, which is what is lovely. That is one. Second is hybrid beauty. I think people don't have time, especially not in India. And if my TG are young Gen Z and young millennials, even they don't have time. Right? They want to go to college, they have programs afterwards, they are young entrepreneurs at 21, AI mein kar rahe hai, 24 pe companies shuru kar rahe. They also don't have time to sit and do 7 steps and do so much loading. They want to use 2-3 products and they are done. If I were to ask you also, you're not sitting, I don't think you've worn a primer, then a concealer, then a foundation. No, you probably put a BB cream, maybe not even that, put a tinted lip balm, you're done. You put your kajal and you're done. Usi kajal you would have filled in, and a normal day aap wahi lip balm leke apne cheeks pe bhi kar loge. So and I don't know you, right? I'm meeting you the first time, but this is how the consumer is evolving. So you need to move towards, hybrid beauty. I think that is the second. And third, and the most important, India first. Manufacturing. You have to start, promoting and propelling the Indian landscape in terms of manufacturing beauty products and retailing beauty products, and buying from India and buying from brands truly made in India, and not relying on just China and third-party manufacturing. So
yeah, I think that's fantastic. Like fabulous key takeaways from this interview right there. So Sahil, this does bring us to the end of the interview, but I just want to thank you for your time and effort for this interview. It was amazing talking to you. So I just want to give you a small vote of thanks. So thank you so much for giving us a window into your world, Mila Beauty, your mindset, your journey, and the heart behind Mila Beauty. So your story is a powerful reminder that success starts with self-awareness, evolves through values, and multiplies through impact. So we'll be back with more exciting conversations that spotlight the leaders building a better tomorrow, right, Sahil, right here on the Enterprise World magazine. But until then, thank you so much and have a great rest of the day. And it was
Thank
great
you.
talking and meeting you today.
Likewise. Thank you. Keep smiling.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Bye. Take care.